Welcome back, everybody. This is Easy from Damage Inc., and I am going to bring you what we believe is a new meta for Town Hall 9. We call it the Flex. It's an attack that was used on us probably a couple months ago, and one of our players, Flex Luger, took it and ran with it, and he's been using it ever since. And since then, he's taught quite a few members of the clan how to use it, including myself. Thank you, Flex. And we have been using it in both clans. I'm going to show you the first few clips are going to be from Sable in the new feeder clan, Sons of Damage. And basically, the Flex is, it has two kill squads. It has the kill, and for those of you who don't know, a kill squad is a group of troops that have specific objectives. You put them in before your main body of troops, and basically this has two kill squads. It has the queen with several healers on her as the first kill squad. Her objective is to kill the clan castle troops and then take out as many of the outer defenses and the outer buildings as possible, and basically clear out the top half of the map. And then you have what we call a bowler walk, and we're going to use bowlers out of the clan castle and several healers on them. And by using the queen walk and the bowler walk, we'll be able to eliminate everything on the outside. We'll be able to funnel our main body of troops, which will be Valkyries and Wizards and the King. So as we get into the first attack, let's see what's going on here. Okay, as we get into the first attack, you'll notice in all of these attacks that I'm going to show you, they all start the same way. That's one of the great things about this attack, is it's really easy for us to teach this attack to the players. Basically, you start off with a queen walk on one corner, and you do want to scout the base. You want to make sure that the queen is only going to have 3 healers on her back. And basically, an easy way to remember it is a healer can defend against 1 defense. So if the queen runs into a cannon and an archer tower, and she has 2 healers on her back, those 2 defenses will outmatch those 2 healers. So you have to have a third. So with 3, she's okay for 2 defenses. So you want to try to make sure she's not going to run into 3 defenses, because she only has 3 healers. Now you'll notice the start of this, what I like to do, if I can, is I'll use we pulled the clan castle troops with a hog, and when the clan castle troops came out, it was a dragon and a balloon. At one time that was a really strong clan castle troops, but right now they're really easy to kill. And what I do is I put a healer in. If you'll rewind, I know I'm a little behind, but if you rewind, I put a healer in. What the healer does is it attracts the dragon and not the balloon. So basically, the dragon gets over. I drop 2 poison spells, make all the clan castle troops run through both spells, and the dragon comes to the queen way before the balloons do. So it's really easy for her to take out the dragon and then the balloons after. Now, by using the bowler walk and the queen walk, we funneled all the troops into the core real easily. I'll go over that a little more in the next raid. I'm already behind in this one. And basically, you want to save a rage and a heal for the core, because most bases, if they're built right, will have a lot of defenses dumping all that DPS into the core. And it's also a really good idea to bring a jump spell. Now we have the guys, they all bring different spell compositions, and this attack works with a multitude of spell compositions. I know Flex likes to bring 2 heal spells, 1 rage and a jump. He'll also bring different troops. He'll bring giants instead of he'll bring some giants and cut back on the Valkyries a little bit. But in this next raid, this is also from Sable. It's going to be the only 2 from this clan that I'm going to show you, but it's basically the same raid. I know that neither one of these bases are maxed out, and you're probably wondering, will it work for a maxed out Town Hall 9 or maybe a weaker Town Hall 10? Yes, it will. Even your Town Hall 9s can get through those Inferno Towers with this attack. Now, again, they weren't able to center. Well, they didn't center the clan castle. So you'll see how easy it was for me to pull those clan castle troops. A little late getting the poison down, so I had to put a few extra wizards in there. But the balloons are so far behind the dragon that the balloons and the dragon don't reach the queen at the same time. if the balloons and the dragon reach the queen at the same time, she can run into problems. But if they don't, then she'll easily plow through them both. Now you'll notice that we start off with the queen on one corner, the bowlers on another corner. Then you put the king in to tank for all the wizards. The key is here too is to keep these wizards alive. You need the wizards once they get in the core, because the wizards will be able to shoot over those walls. Valkyries do a great job. Here they come, putting a rage down and a jump to get into the core. Then we'll put the heal in the core, and I have another rage for the backside of the core. Now, some people will put a jump in the backside. Some people will use a heal for the backside. I decided to use a jump a rage on this particular base, only because the walls are lower level. If they had max walls, I may have chose a jump instead of a rage. But as you can see, there is a lot of troops left and not a lot of defenses. They've really worked their way through this base really well. All the healers are still up. The bowlers are full health still. The queen hasn't used her ability yet. There's 2 defenses or 3 defenses left. There's Valkyries left. There's so many troops left. This wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. I think both of those attacks went off in under 2.5 minutes for 2 attacks. So that's pretty good. Pretty good war for Sable. Really good attack. We're going to move on now to the other clan, to Damage Inc. That's our main clan. And we're going to go look at a couple of attacks on much harder bases. Matter of fact, we also have a Town Hall 11 attack that I want to show everyone. The Town Hall 11 attack is not the same attack, but it's still another 3-star attack on a Town Hall 11 that had nearly maxed out. So it was a great attack that I wanted to show everyone. And because Town Hall 11, after the last update, I've heard a lot of people that are Town Hall 11s complain that they've had their legs chopped off from underneath them. They can't use the miners anymore. They're having to go back to use bowlers. Bowlers already had been nerfed previously. So all these guys that had these super strong attacks, they're having to reshuffle their troops and go back to the drawing board. This first attack in Damage Inc. is from Flex. He's the one that's been doing this attack the longest. He's already altered his attack a little bit, and this is actually his farming crew here. This is what he uses to farm with. And I wanted to make this point. If you have an attack that you do in war, let's say you have one attack, like a lot of guys in our clan right now, they're just using this attack. It's good on most bases. If you have an attack that you favor in war, it's a very good idea to use that all the time. If you just use it in war and you just use it for 2 attacks every 3 days, you're going to be rusty by the time you get back to using it, and you're going to make mistakes. Devote yourself to the attack and use it all the time. Now, with this particular attack, it requires bowlers in the clan castle. Not everyone has Town Hall 10s in their clan that they can get bowlers from all the time. Don't really know how to help you there. You can go on to Global and deal with those people. It's a rat race in Global. That's the whole reason why we started a feeder clan, was because we were tired of going into Global and having people come into the clan, look at us for 30 seconds, insult people, and take off. We don't want any of that. So we decided to make our own feeder clan and train guys, train them up. Anyway, I didn't get to walk through Flex's attack very much because it lasted about 50 seconds. We'll move on to the next attack. The next one is from Romper Stomper. He was the second one in our clan to start using this attack. Him and Flex, they're both 9.5s. A good point to make is that neither one of them have maxed heroes. I know you see a lot of YouTubers out there, and they do all these spectacular attacks, and a lot of them involve queen walks. And it's real easy to do a queen walk when you have a level 40 queen. But I wanted to show you. Sable has a level 15 queen. Flex has a level 22 queen. Now Romper Stomper, his is much stronger. His queen, I believe, is level 37. So his queen, she lasts a lot longer. But he starts the same way. He starts off with a queen walk. He pulls the clan castle troops. Remember how important it is to pull clan castle troops. A lot of guys, as they progress in this game, they feel like they're just going to attack those clan castle troops on the fly. That can be done. That can be done effectively, repetitively. but it's always better to pull the clan castle troops and kill them before you start your attack. It's a much safer tactic. Once he gets the clan castle troops down, he's starting off the same way. He drops the king. As the barbarian king runs up to the wall, he's got all those wizards behind him. They quickly clear out all the buildings on the outside. They break through the wall. He doesn't even use wall breakers. He lets the Valkyries go to the wall. He uses the rage. They rage through the wall. He uses the jump spell to break them into the core. Puts a heal spell and a rage spell on the core, and they take down the core really quickly. And I believe, I wasn't looking up, but I believe he uses a jump spell on the back side of the core. Now, something that people don't do enough, in my opinion. People are in love with their rage spells. They'll bring 3 rage spells and not a heal. They'll bring 3 rage spells and not a jump spell. Jump spells are very important in Town Hall 9 and Town Hall 10 attacks. These walls are high level walls are really hard. They have almost as many hit points. Their hit points are, it's like taking down Town Hall just to go through one level of the walls. So if you have to break through a double layer of walls, then you're going to be there for a long time. And you can put a rage spell on those troops, and they are still going to take 4 or 5 heavy hits from multiple defenses before they break through both walls. So one jump spell is invaluable compared to even a rage spell in many circumstances. So it's a really good idea to bring that jump spell, to save it for the back half of your attack, to jump out of the core with it. That will get you a 3-star. This next attack, this is by one of my mini accounts, Too Easy. I wanted to show you this because next couple things didn't go exactly as planned. One thing I try to tell all my guys is to go check out the top players in the world. You'll get to see what they think is the best troops to use. What I've done is I do the same thing. I'll look at all the top players in the world and I see what they have in their camps. And right now you'll see a lot of balloons, a lot of lava hounds. So they're using the Lavalunian. So we adapted the Lavalunian as some of our attacks for a little while, and we did okay, but we noticed that that's a very touchy attack. With this attack here, what we call the flex, there's a lot more leeway to make mistakes, and that's really, as an up-and-coming clan, we're a level 11 clan, but we still have a long way to go as far as being a clan full of elite attackers. So we're trying to find attacks that there's leeway to make mistakes in. And in this attack, there is just the way the attack is built. There's just a lot of areas where you can make small mistakes and get away with them. Here, I managed to get everything into the core pretty well. I used the heal spell at the beginning of the core. I raged through the core. I had another heal spell that I used. The troops decided that they wanted to spread out on that back wall a little bit. You'll see that a lot. You may have 10 troops left, 10 Valkyries, and they decided to attack 7 different walls. And they may take a long time to get through those walls. But after the heal spell expired, they managed to find several more traps. The queen, she ran right into a trap as well, and she got funneled right into 3 or 4 defenses, and she was taken out. So down a queen, the king was already taken out. So now I was fortunate enough to have a healer left, but she died shortly after that. So now what I did have going for me was I had several Valkyries on the outside of the walls working their way in, and then I had a bowler and a wizard together on the inside, and a bowler and a wizard together is a pretty strong 1-2 punch. The bowler has that long range, and those wizards have that real high DPS. So that worked out well, and made mistakes here. Didn't go as planned, but they managed to finish off the base pretty well on their own. So this is a really good attack for players that are learning how to do the 3-star, and they want to do 3 stars on a consistent basis. Because I'll tell you, when you start 3-starring consistently, your clan's going to look at you as one of those players and count on you, and you'll get moved up in the lineup a little bit. So you may be number 15 or 14 and be asked to attack a number 9 or 10 base, and the pressure starts to mount on you. So with the rewards of getting the 3 stars comes a little bit more responsibility. This next attack is from Liam. This is Lord Liam's first appearance on one of our videos, so congrats to him. But this next attack, the same thing. What he did here was he put the healers on the bowler a little too close to where he dropped the king. So you want to make sure now if you see down in the bottom point of this base, that's where you wanted to start off with that bowler walk, is down there on that point. But he wanted to make sure he cleared out that whole area for the Valkyries. But what ended up happening was the bowlers and the hero and the king cross path. Whenever that happens, those healers have a tendency to jump over to the king and move off the bowlers. And in this case, the bowlers and the Valkyries switched spots, and the bowlers went into the base, and the Valkyries started going around the base. That's never a good thing. Bowlers do not stand up inside the interior of a base nearly as well as the Valkyries do. Fortunately, the way this particular base was made was the person who made this base, they gambled on people coming in from the top left, and they put all those heavy storages there with nothing really to shoot at them from the outside. They were expecting people to attack from there and them to have to go through all those storages while they're being attacked from behind the walls. So because there was already troops in the interior, those Valkyries got around there pretty well. But as you can see here, the heroes are down. He's down to his, well, not heroes, his king is down. He's down to the queen. He's got a couple wizards. He's got a couple Valkyries. And he has got a lot in the core still. So this is a really scary place to be if you're the attacker. Now, luckily, the healer, the healers are programmed to switch and move around and try to take care of the troops that need it the most. We all complain about the healers. I'm going to show you why later. But we like to complain about the healers because they get stuck on troops that don't need them, or they just manage to not be there when we need them. But in this particular case, she really stayed on point, and she stayed on the troops that needed her the most. Now Liam, he's a really patient attacker, and he waited and waited and waited on that queen's ability. And as the queen finally makes it through, those are maxed out walls for Town Hall 9, and she takes down Town Hall. Now she's trying to get through those walls. I think she has a wizard or two there to help her, but she's there by herself. She's got 3 defenses and her, but luckily he had saved his ability, and I believe he's got a level 17 or 18 queen, and at level 17 or level 18 she's got just enough strength in her that she was able to use that cloak and take out those last 3 defenses. So good job, Liam. This last attack is, I believe this is going to be Too Easy's second attack, and I wanted to show you this attack because things have changed over the last year or so. We used to have to go and make sure we checked all of our screens, make sure we had our heroes, make sure we had our spells, make sure we had everything. Now it's all on one screen, so you really don't have any excuse to be down a spell or down a hero or not have all your troops built. But I managed to get into the attack, and as soon as I started the attack, I had the cursors there. I had 3 earthquakes and a poison. Did not do me much good at that point. You have to have 4 earthquakes to make it through the walls. So I immediately started off bad. Couldn't believe it, man. So anyway, when you make a mistake, you have to move on. You have to keep on pushing forward. I got a stroke of luck at the same time. A Pika comes out. Pikas have really slow rate of attack, so I was able to take out the Pika pretty easily. Did have to use the Queen's ability, which we don't really want to do that at the beginning of an attack. Then I did the same thing that Liam did. I put the King and the bowlers all together, and several of the bowlers decided to go into the base, and then the healers decided to follow them. So this is something that could have been really detrimental to the attack. Now, fortunately, it actually helped this attack a little bit because I needed a little extra healing power, as the interior of this base was really strong. All the Teslas were all shooting into the middle. I didn't really have anything taking out the Teslas or taking out the crossbows at first, but I was able to put the rage down and put the heal down, and able to get everything through the core. I used the heal on the second half of this attack. I've been taking the second heal because I was using a jump spell, and I just had, even after scouting and watching replays and scouting bases, I managed to find every single giant bomb. I'll find a giant bomb if it's in the corner of the base. One of my troops will run over there just to make sure it's there. So I keep on finding these giant bombs, so I decided to bring that second heal spell instead. And still have the queen up, but you know, the queen is still up. Even after she had to use her ability real quick in the beginning of this raid, she's still up. Valkyries took out all the Valkyries are in the core. They're basically taking out everything left that's in the core. And now, as they're making their way towards that last corner, I looked up and noticed that there's one archer tower left, and there's just too many troops left for that one defense. So I knew I had it at this point. Queen manages to trip all the spring traps, which she's not affected by that. So got a little fortunate there, but that's a great example of how bad things can go, and you still come out on top with good tactics. Can't say enough for good tactics. You can't just throw troops in any order, in any condition, and expect to be successful. That's not the way it works. We've been working on this attack for several months, and it's just been a great attack for us. Okay, last attack is from Guy. Just a quick history on Guy. He's one of our most versatile yet most dependable players. You can't have him. He may be the most important player we have on any given day. He averages 30,000 donations a season. That's unheard of. If you ask him, he's the worst player in Clash, but we all know he's one of the best players. He's one of the best players that we've ever seen. He just has such insight in this game. He assesses bases really well, and if you notice here, most players would have used the Warden's ability long before now. He waits and waits and waits, and because he knew he was not going to have any spells for the back half of this base, he used the Warden ability right when that back end Inferno Tower hits all the troops. He pushes his way through the troops. And I didn't get to mention at the beginning, but the bowlers, they had got a nerf several months ago, and using them for a Town Hall 11 attack, that's a scary proposition to make, even with the Warden. So what he's done is he has added a few witches. He used the witches to tank. Now, the reason why he used the witches to tank was because of exactly what's going on in the center of the screen right now. He had been bringing golems, and it seems like every time he brings a golem to the attack, the golem decides that he wants to attack a wall, and golems suck at attacking walls. We are trying to lobby Supercell right now to give him ×10 on walls or something, because he loves attacking walls, and the healers love trying to heal him while he's attacking a wall. It's one of those odd programming things that we just see over and over. It's like the queen attacking a wall of old. So as the golem's attacking the wall, the Warden and the queen is taking out those last defenses. You know, and funny thing is, even though the golem was attacking the wall, he still was attracting DPS towards him, and he allowed the queen and the Warden to come around the top half of that base, take out those top half of defenses, and there he is. Thank you healers. So great attack, great player. Thank you guys. Okay, now I know this has been a long video, and to wrap this up, there's a few points I want to make. If you are going to try a new attack, it's always good to use the buddy system, and what that means is, if you try a new attack on your own, then it may take a long time. It's going to be harder to get troops because you may be the only one using those particular troops. If you decide to use an attack and you get 3 or 4 of your clanmates to use it with you, and you're all practicing the same attack, you're all practicing it on each other, you're all practicing it while you're out there doing resource farms, then you're going to go a lot farther with it. So use the buddy system. Make sure you don't just use these attacks in war. Go out there and use the attacks every single day. If you use the attacks every day, you'll get acclimated to it a lot faster. And the faster you get acclimated to your war attack, the better. It's very important for you to use these attacks every day. It's kind of like muscle memory, so it's that brain muscle memory. So use the buddy system. You use the same attack over and over while you're farming, not just in war. Till next time, this is Easy. See ya.